the overlanding thing, and just in my experience and coming into it 5 or 6 years ago, has completely jaded my vantage point of camping. Because I grew up, and every summer it felt like we were at Coon Fork, your standard campground.
Yep. State park campground.
3 loops,
Yep.
Back in the camper, the adults had the camper, a pop-up, and then like the kids each had a tent.
Yep.
And then like you got to go and frolic around and go to the playground with the volleyball court and to the beach. So like as a kid, that was always like awesome. After I had camped on the edge of, the Grand Canyon before.
Yeah.
Like I have family that calls up and they're like, oh, we're planning our trip to Coon Forks. I'm like, that sounds lame as shit. Like, why don't you just pull it into my driveway?
Right.
And I got a fire pit in the backyard. We'll just like hang out because it's the exact same thing. So my enthusiasm to go, let's go camping this weekend is like, well, trying to find a, off-grid place, go up into the Chiquamagan forest and just be like, I'm just going to find a place here. And
right. Like, how can we get lost?
How can you camp and actually be, if there's no fear of death, are you really camping? If there's not like outside of falling into a fire,
right?
Is there, do you have to put your food, do you have to hang your food and garbage from a tree? Like these are the things I need to know before we go. But that, loop A camping,
right?
In an
it's
electrical
definitely
site
different.
Is, I don't know. It's just like,
Right.
Again, I got a fire pit. You got a fire pit, and you got a whole campground in your backyard, so you can do whatever you want. But in mine, I'm like, I got my little fireplace,
right?
Fire pit. Throw some chairs around. I got the fridge in the garage. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's the same thing. And I get to go sleep in my own bed.